Yesterday we got a number of reports saying that the Flash movie will erase the SnyderVerse from the DCEU. That includes Man of Steel, Batman v Superman and Zack Snyder's Justice League from the DCEU continuity. Rightfully so, fans were pissed off. Twitter was a war zone. But the Flash star Ezra Miller has reacted to this, and this is what he had to say. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the Viking. And yes, there is so much uncertainty with the DCU right now. Yesterday I did a video breaking down in great detail the reports we got yesterday about the Flash movie erasing the SnyderVerse and bringing a new Justice League. We got reports from Grace Randolph and a number of scoopers. Grace Randolph had this to say yesterday. As I've told you with update, the Flash will be Batfleck's final appearance. Old footage of Henry Cavill will be used, but on a TV. A new Justice League will be formed. Supergirl will be the new Superman. Michael Keaton's Batman is working with Black Canary. He picks Batgirl as the new Batman. This is the new DC. Let's be open-minded and give it a fair shot. But she wasn't the only one. My Time to Shine Hello had this to say. I don't usually tweet about DC stuff, but I have a friend who has seen The Flash, and the movie will erase every movie Snyder has done. Man of Steel, Batman v Superman and Justice League never happened. Erased from continuity. Affleck and Cavill are both gone. And rightfully so, fans were absolutely going insane over this. And look, I understand where fans are coming from. Warner Brothers have mismanaged the DCU. They really have. And they don't listen to fans whatsoever. At all. If they did, they wouldn't have scrapped their entire slate back in 2016 and tried to copy and paste what Marvel were doing. And now they find themselves in an era of the DC universe where they've had Birds of Prey, Shazam, Wonder Woman 84, the Suicide Squad movies that didn't do that well at the box office whatsoever. And their biggest movie was Zack Snyder's Justice League, 2021. And in the last number of years, the last DC movie that really hit hard was Zack Snyder's Justice League. And before that was probably Aquaman that made $1 billion. But they've really gone against fans. And Zack Snyder's Justice League came out huge shit. But then Ann Sternoff, the CEO, comes out and says, we will not be exploring the DC Snyderverse anymore. The air cut's not happening. Walter Hamada, the DC president, called it a cul-de-sac. And these people are in charge. And we've heard reports that Toby Emmerich hates Zack Snyder as well. And Zack's happy at Netflix. He's making an unbelievable multiple universes over there, actually. And I'm very excited to see that. But in terms of the actual DCU that they're trying to build right now, they can build a DC universe, but they don't have to be disrespectful to the previous movie, the cast, or the crew, or the directors. I just don't understand that part whatsoever. Now, do I fully believe that the Flash movie will erase the Snyderverse? I'm just going to take a guess. I don't know, but I'm going to say it won't in a disrespectful way. I think what will happen is a new DCU universe will be formed. And as I said before, I think even in the video yesterday, I talk about a new Justice League. Michael Keaton will be the mentor. You got Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, maybe Martian Manhunter, Black Canary, Batgirl, and Supergirl. Female Trinity. Now, I should say as well, yesterday I kind of called that a woke thing. Of course, it might not be done in a woke way. But what I don't like is that Warner Brothers is putting Leslie Grace, who's going to play Batgirl, and Sasha Calle, who's going to play Supergirl, in a pretty bad situation. Because instead of ushering them into the DC universe in badass style, like Wonder Woman in Batman v Superman, they're bringing them in to replace Ben Affleck's Batman and Henry Cavill's Superman. And for me, right off the bat, that's terrible. That is terrible. I think if, okay, you don't want Henry Cavill or Batfleck for future projects, you at least get them back for this movie or for a movie so they can mentor those characters and say, look, you're the new Superman, Supergirl. Something like that. At least it wouldn't feel forced and it wouldn't feel as bad or as woke as it will be in the Flash movie if that's the case. Now, it might not be represented in a woke way, but then online, Twitter and the way everything goes. And I can guarantee you there will be abuse thrown at Leslie Grace and Sasha Calle because they're taking over those roles. And it's not their fault whatsoever. It's not Andy Muschietti. It's not the crew. It's not the cast. It's Warner Brothers who have mismanaged this universe and the lack of communication with fans. The anxiety right now, the uproar on Twitter, on Instagram, or whatever social media account that you use is because of the miscommunication between Warner Brothers and its fans. Kevin Feige came out after No Way Home. Huge success. But he came out and said that Spider-Man 4 will happen. And he didn't want to leave the fans in loop. Because if you remember when Sony was thinking about bringing Spider-Man back exclusively for Sony movies only and not being a part of the MCU, fans were going crazy. Of course, it was resolved. That's great management right there from Kevin Feige. Walter Hamada has been DC president, I think, since January 2019. Or maybe it's January 2018. He has been in charge. And not once, maybe actually once, DC fandom, he talked about the multiverse. But he has never communicated with the fans. At all. In any capacity. You've never seen him in an interview or a part of a panel or anything like that telling us exactly what his plan is for the DC universe. It's like they're afraid to say, these are the movies we're doing, this is our plan, because in case it fails. They're afraid to fail again because they probably look at 2016 and the box office, they looked at that box office and said, no, we want more. We want the Marvel money. And now ever since they got rid of Zack Snyder in that universe, they're not even anywhere near the box office of Wonder Woman, Suicide Squad and Batman v Superman. And yes, you can say Aquaman made $1 billion. It did make $1 billion. And rightfully so, it made $1 billion. But Walter Hamada wasn't even in charge when that movie was going into production, when it was done production. You know, he came in later on. He was the one who kind of helped Shazam, who helped Birds of Prey, Wonder Woman 84, those types of projects that haven't made money whatsoever. So I understand where fans are coming from. And I understand if you don't want to watch the Flash movie. I will watch it, I'll see what it is, but I will be critical of it, guys, if this actually happens in a disrespectful way. But what I always hang on to is that Zack Snyder's VFX crew, who did the Snyder Cut beautifully, they said that they were done doing DC projects after Justice League 2017 because of what happened to Zack Snyder. But they read the script for the Flash movie and that made them sign on and come back for more. Ben Affleck was retired as Batman. He came back for Zack Snyder's Justice League, probably because he loves Zack Snyder so much, helped him to restore his vision. He came back for that, but also the Flash movie. He read the script by Christina Hodson of The Flash and he rewrote some of the material for his scenes. He came back. Michael Shannon is set to appear in the Flash movie as General Zod again. He loves Zack Snyder. He really, really does. Would he sign on for a project that is disrespectful to Zack Snyder and his vision, especially after what happened in 2017 on the set of Justice League? Would Ezra Miller, would Ben Affleck, would the VFX crew be okay coming back to a project that was disrespectful to Zack Snyder, the one who created everything and is such a nice guy? That's where I'm kind of in the middle. But then you look at what these scoopers are saying and stuff like that. Now, this could be old information from the scoopers about this erasing the SnyderVerse. Because I remember back in July 2020 when Michael Keaton was announced, all this stuff came out with the Flash. Michael Keaton was going to be the new mentor. But then later on, Ben Affleck came back for the Snyder Cut. He came back for the Flash movie. So, did he change his mind? So, I don't know. It's just because we haven't had any information directly from Warner Brothers about what's happening. So that's where it gets messy. That's where people get very annoyed online. I understand that. I really do. But don't throw the abuse at Leslie Grace or Sasha Calle. It's not their fault whatsoever. They should be cast. I'm sure they're brilliant, but they're going to be compared to Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck because they're not around anymore. And if they are replacing them for the new Justice League team, this female trinity, I just think it puts them all in a bad situation and DC in a bad situation as well. But let's get on to what Ezra Miller, the Flash actor, had to say about all of this uproar about the Flash movie erasing the SnyderVerse from the DCEU continuity. Now, this comes from the Flash Film News on Twitter. Go give them a follow. They seem to know everything about this movie. Erasing Zack Snyder's work, Ezra Miller says that's an oversimplification. And I don't know if it was them or somebody else, they messaged Ezra Miller on Instagram. Now, Ezra is on Instagram. He just joined. He's following Snyder Cut lovers and DC fans. He follows me, so maybe if you go give him a follow, he might follow you back. He was asked this question. Fans are going crazy, thinking the movie is erasing Zack's movies. They don't see the potential this movie will bring. And Ezra Miller had this to say. No power or force in any known megaverse would or could ever erase Zack Snyder's mighty works. You can take that quote, take it to the bank, take it to the press, take it to the schools, take it to the military, and the other pillar of capitalism I'm forgetting because of that thing where if you try to think of a group of things, you always forget one of them. Very weird answer from Ezra Miller, but he's a weird guy. We all love him. He's pretty cool. So, no power or force in any known megaverse would or could ever erase Zack Snyder's mighty works. Okay, now, you can take this in a number of ways. He didn't say that the movie is erasing DC SnyderVerse timeline from The Flash. It could be. It could just set up a new timeline. But, he's not going to tell us what happens in the movie in a post like this. But then again, this isn't a PR interview or a PR answer or panel. This was a private matter. This was an Instagram DM. This was behind closed doors, and he gave his honest thought. Now I see people online using the Ray Fisher at Comic-Con saying that Zack Snyder picked the best possible director to take over in Joss Whedon. And of course, that was all lies from Ray Fisher. He later came out and exposed them all. Yes, that happened, but I don't think this is any way similar to this at all. Ezra Miller is in DMs with somebody and he talks about no power or force in any known megaverse would or could ever erase Zack Snyder's mighty works. Now, I think that the Flash movie will stop a new DCU, but that doesn't mean what happened in the past didn't happen ever. You look at X-Men Days of Future Past, when Wolverine comes back into this new timeline, the events of the past still happen to him and similar characters, but it also didn't happen for other characters as well. So you pick and choose. Like I've said this before in the channel, the multiverse, you pick and choose what's canon. If Zack Snyder got to come back in 2, 3, 5 years to make Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, he would have Billy Crudup as Henry Allen. Not Ron Livingston, who is the DCU Henry Allen. He would have Jeffrey Dean Morgan as his alternate version of Batman if they did that storyline. He can pick and choose what's canon to his story. I'm sure that Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Zack Snyder's Justice League are not the only movies that are canon to that universe. I'm sure Wonder Woman 1 is. I'm sure parts of Aquaman 1 are as well. And he can also pick and choose if Wonder Woman 3 is, if Aquaman 2 is. And the same with the DCEU. They can pick and choose what is canon from the Snyderverse. They can, if they used Henry Cavill again, his origin story is Man of Steel. If they used Ben Affleck again, then the events of Batman v Superman did happen in an alternate timeline. Wonder Woman 1 is canon to both the DCU and the Snyderverse. That is Wonder Woman's origin story. It's canon to both. Personally, I don't think that the Flash movie will erase the Snyderverse in a disrespectful way. I think that a new universe will be set up, a new continuity will be set up, but I don't think it's going to shit on those previous movies like we all feared. Now, if that is the case, I'll be there. I will call out that shit on day one. I will be very critical of that because there's no need to be disrespectful to Zack Snyder and the world he was building. But I do think a new universe will be built with this new Justice League and Michael Keaton is there. Do I agree with that new Justice League team? I think it's a pretty cool Justice League team if Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill were also involved too. And why can't they be? Why can't they just make everything okay, pay the guys what they need, and have a really cool Justice League team? And if Zack was asked to come back in 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now and everything internally was good at Warner Brothers and it wasn't as toxic as it is, I think Zack Snyder would be a team player. If they said, Zack, look, we want you to do another Justice League film. It's going to be theatrical. Can you maybe implement some of the ideas that we've done in the DC universe since you've left? I think Zack would be a team player, and he has been a team player before in the past. I think he would. I think he would make his sequel to Zack Snyder's Justice League, but he would, of course, it's going to be a new script. He has new ideas. He would implement characters like Shazam, Black Adam maybe, but he would have Wayne T. Carr as his Green Lantern, and he would put it all together into an awesome Justice League movie. I guarantee you that Zack Snyder making a theatrical Warner Brothers Justice League, Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, would be badass with all of the characters in the universe coming into it. That would be cool. But if not, I'm happy with him doing his HBO Max Zack Snyder's Justice League, where it's its own pocket in the universe. But also, if you look at Loki, it brought us the multiverse. It said to us that there's different branches of the universe. Well, the Snyderverse is just one branch over here. And as I said, there's some things that is canon to that branch, but also the main DCU branch as well, like Wonder Woman 1, like Steppenwolf coming to Earth and invading Earth. Those branches are the same, only in the Snyderverse, Darkseid was there. In the DCU one, Darkseid was not there. So in that way, that's the multiverse. You pick and choose what is canon, what you want to use, but it doesn't mean you have to be disrespectful to Zack Snyder's previous movies, what he was setting up, the universe he was building, one that was pretty successful in terms of box office money, and there was a fan base there because fans were coming to see those movies. Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, those films made a lot of money compared to Birds of Prey, Shazam, Wonder Woman 84 and the Suicide Squad. But as I said before, Warner Bros. Have a lot of wins on their way in terms of box office, I think. The Batman will be a huge hit. That's its own branch as well as the DCU. And then Black Adam is coming in July. We also have Aquaman later this year. So on a box office level, the perception of the DC Universe might be good. But when the Flash movie comes around, will fans care? Will audiences care? The marketing for that movie should be pretty good. You got two Batmans, you got the Flash, you got Supergirl, other surprises there as well. But will it be a spit in the face of the hardcore fans? If it is, I think Warner Brothers are putting themselves in for a very bad online perception of the Flash movie, because fans can be very toxic. But in this case, I wouldn't call them toxic. I would call them kind of putting their thoughts out there because they're not happy with the way this universe is going, because they want one thing and they're being ignored. I'm a DC fan. I don't mind DC doing the Flash movie, the Batman, Black Adam, Aquaman 2, having some of these movies connected, some of them are not. I don't mind that whatsoever, but I just don't understand that they ignore a fan base there that is coming out to pay for their stuff. And in 2016, when critics and bloggers were shitting on the movies, they were defending the movies like Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman. They were hyped and ready for Justice League, but then that was a spit in their face as well. I think that's what many fans are in fear of, is something similar happening with the Flash movie. It won't be as bad as that in terms of the overall look and Joss Whedon's take on those characters, but overall, when the film ends, it could be a spit in the faces of many fans who are annoyed, and rightfully so, that Henry Cavill and Batfleck have been replaced by Supergirl and Batgirl, and now they're gone. But I don't think Warner Brothers are even that stupid to kill off Batfleck, kill off Henry Cavill, and close their doors of opportunity of returning to the DC Universe off. That would be very stupid. You never do that. But we'll have to see how it goes. But Ezra Miller doesn't think that the Flash movie is erasing anything that Zack Snyder does. But then again, he wasn't going into great detail. It was only a quick little post. So here on this channel, guys, I like to give every single avenue a discussion. Some of them I agree with, some of them I hate, but I'd like to just talk about every single possible opportunity so you guys have a fair idea of where this universe might or could be going, so you're not annoyed or upset at one thing like a complete reboot of the universe when there is the possibility of B happening or C happening or D happening. That's why I like to talk about here on this channel. But I'm with you. I am frustrated, I'm annoyed at times, but then again, I'm so happy Zack Snyder's Justice League came out. I'm so happy that movie exists. I'm so happy that Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, and Justice League exists, because I can watch those movies anytime and nobody can take them away from us whatsoever. And I enjoy the other DCU movies. I'm just not as invested as I was. I will watch Peacemaker, I will watch Black Adam, the Batman, the Flash. I will watch all these stuff because I'm a DC fan. I will be positive when it's necessary. I will be critical when it's necessary as well. And I'll report it here on the channel. But we have 11 months to go until the Flash movie. And Warner Brothers, for me, has a lot of management to do in terms of the fans and the perception around this movie, because they're letting all of this just run wild without making a comment on it, without telling fans that this is going to be really cool, we're bringing all the universes together, because you're pissing off a lot of fans right now, and by the time that movie comes out, there could be a lot of bad kind of reception around the movie. But if the movie is great and it's a massive hit, it will drown out those disagreements from the fans big time. But I hope it's a good Flash movie. I hope it's a lot of fun. I hope Keaton is badass. Ben Affleck's in it. He's badass as well. Sasha Calle. I hope everyone is cool. I hope the Justice League are implemented. I hope that it sets up a universe that's pretty promising, but it doesn't get rid of the previous stuff that happened either. I hope Zack Snyder can come back someday, have his own pocket in the universe as well, because it's a multiverse. He can make Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. He can pick and choose what's canon. Maybe someday he'll make a theatrical DC movie again. Remember, Discovery's coming in next year. The merger, David Zaslav says that he will listen to the consumers. We're the consumers, so keep putting your grievances out there. Keep putting your hashtags out there that this is what you want and this is what you would like to see. But if you're going to be negative about it, I would just say, just ignore DC. Go away from them. Give your time and your money to somebody else that is giving you something that you want to watch, because you're just wasting your own time and it's not good. I'm not trying to call you out for calling Warner Bros. out. I'm just saying that they don't deserve you as a fan. They don't deserve your money. Go and watch. Put your time and energy into what Marvel is doing if you like that, or something else, or Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, or his Army of the Dead 2. Go and enjoy things, because life is too short to be uptight, to be so annoyed every single day because DC is mismanaging their talent, their fans, their universe, and yeah, let them fail on their own accord if those movies are as bad and doing what the reports are saying. But guys, as always, I want to hear your thoughts about the Flash movie. Is it erasing the Snyderverse? What do you think? Is Grace Randolph telling lies? Is it accurate information? Is it old information? What do you think about Ezra Miller, what he had to say in terms of it? No, it's not erasing anything. Zack Snyder's work will never be erased and nobody can ever do that. Let me know below your thoughts on all of this. Subscribe to the channel and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Fate, Alfred, Fate. One of my favourite lines from the DCEU.